Hello. Hello, how are you doing? I am very excited for today's topic because if you've been following me or you know anything about me, you know that I built my entire business just by writing high converting posts in Facebook groups. Now, I already did a challenge on this before, and that challenge will be available again where I go in depth of step by step how to write a high converting post. But for the sake of today and keeping it short, I'm going to go over that challenge and over the steps very quickly so that you can write posts that turn into actual paying clients. Now, I'm just going to jump right into the content because I know that you want to write a post today. It's first thing in the morning and you are ready to make some money. So the first step in a high converting post is, this part should be obvious, the title. Now, there's 3 titles that in my time as a copywriter I've found convert the best. The first is a how-to title. Okay, so the how-to title is exactly how to solve a specific problem of theirs. Okay, so rather than, and you want to make it very specific, so rather than saying how to grow a successful business, you want to be very specific and say how to grow a 6-figure business in 6 months or less, or how to make your first 10K month in 30 days or less. Be as specific as you can. You want to fix a pain point with a very, very clear benefit because people want actionable steps, not overall, looking over strategies. Okay, the second type of title that I find converts really well is when you have a number, like a number in the beginning of the title. So it could be 3 ways to find your first high-paying client, or 3 mistakes people make when they write their own copy. Okay, you're giving very specific step-by-step, and in that post you want to have very specific step-by-step examples of, step like 1 reason, 2 reason, 3 reasons why they're making these mistakes, for example. Okay, numbered lists in your post as well is really good for readability. Okay, so the third type of title that I find converts really well is a news title, right? So what I mean by this is something that is really out there, really out of the ordinary in that sphere, in that group. So most of my posts are in business groups and entrepreneur groups. So when I'm doing like a big news title, I'll do something really crazy. Like one of the titles I did was my 2-year-old son woke up screaming bloody murder at 3 a.m. last night, ... Okay, and that's another thing. Always end your title in either ... or as a question. So that people are like, what the hell is this girl talking about? Why is she talking about her son waking up at 3 a.m. in a business group, right? So that just catches their attention. And be really out there, like have fun with it, right? So the second, after you have your title, your kick-ass title, which is going to be the main selling point of your post, is getting them in there, getting them reading it, and that's really what's going to help you stand out from the crowd. Okay, the next part of the post is writing a story. So again, if I was talking about my son waking up at 3 a.m., I'm going to talk about exactly what happened. I want to keep it in about 1 to 2 paragraphs. You want to keep it pretty short. And I would just talk about, I remember I was talking about how he woke up screaming. He was hitting my face because he woke up wanting like a granola bar at 3 a.m., right? So it's not as crazy as a story as people thought it was from the title, but it's still pretty funny. And people are also wondering, what is she talking about? How does this relate to business? How does this relate to marketing or copywriting? They're still like, okay, and story pulls people in, right? Anything that you tell as a story, as soon as you start with, you would never believe what happened last night. People want to read it. They want to read it until the very end to figure out what happened at the end. It's just a human psychology trick. We all do it. We all love story. Okay. Another option for this, one of my highest converting posts was, I was talking about 50 Shades of Grey and how I went and saw the movie and how I actually kind of I liked it, even though a lot of people didn't. Right? And then that brings me into, and it's so crazy because people are like, what is she talking about? Why is she talking about 50 Shades of Grey in a business group again? Right? And then after you do that second part, so you have the title, that first part is the story, and then the third part is the moral of the story. I'm freezing on my end. I hope I'm not freezing on yours. So the moral of the story. Now, the moral of the story is how you're going to relate it into your niche, right? So whether you're a business coach, a copywriter, a graphic designer, this is how people are going to be like, that's where she was going with this, right? So with the 50 Shades of Grey post that I did, the moral of the story was your clients want to be told what to do, right? Just like, actually, it was a little more graphic than that, but for the sake of this, for this live, I'm going to say that was the moral of the story, that your clients want to be dominated and told what to do, okay? And then I just wrote like maybe three to four sentences explaining that, and the fact that, I really hope I'm not choppy on your end. The fact that your clients need to be told what to do in the actual post. When you're writing the post or in the Facebook Live, they want that call to action at the end, okay? So you're linking that in. The same with my son, the story with my son and how he woke me up at 3 a.m. The moral of the story was your clients will kick and scream and try to do anything to get what they want, but you need to stand your ground in your business. Okay, which leads me into the very last part of a high converting post, which is the call to action. Now, you have two options here in a business group. So there's two types of groups. The first groups are, they allow promotions. Okay, so now if the group allows promotions, then you can literally give a very strong call to action or promote a small post, a package of some sort. Like, so how I would turn that into after the moral of the story, for example, the 50 Shades of Grey post, I would say, do you need copy that gives this is exactly how I close it. Do you need copy that gives your clients a little bit of pain, a little bit of pleasure, and makes them beg for more, right? Very out there, I know, and maybe you're not as as wild as that or as brave as that in your post. You don't have to be, but what my point is here, just have fun with it, right? The same with the story about my son. The moral of the way I would turn that is, do you need copy that stands your ground and shows your clients who's boss, right? It's just fun. And then I would go into my package. So I would say, if you need copy that blah, 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 right now I'm offering this package. In this package you get 1, 2, 3. So usually 3 things. They don't have to be 3 big things. It's usually 1 big thing, maybe a 30-minute consultation, and then like a third little throw-in of some sort. Okay? If the group does not allow promotions, you have to be a little more strategic in your marketing. Okay? So I would still do the story, the moral of the story, and then I would ask a question that kind of pulls them out of the woodwork, pulls your ideal client out of the woodwork. So with for example, with the 50 Shades of Grey post, I would probably you want to end with a question, right? So my question there would be something around the lines of, where in your business can you be more dominant, right? And then people are going to